Hey, good evening, guys. Tonight we're going to take a look at this game called Firepower. It's an Avalon Hill game from the mid 80s. I remember picking this up sometime in the mid 80s. I believe it was around 84, 85. 84 or 85, I believe I got my first copy. This is my second copy of the game. I had an original copy that I punched all the counters and actually played the game. And I ended up giving that to my brother, Clint. There'll be a link to his channel in the description below this video. But this is another copy of Firepower that I have. I believe it's unpunched, and we're going to take a look at it. It's a Avalon Hill bookcase game. The box is pretty worn. It's got a lot of shelf wear. It comes with a basic game rules folder. It's an introduction to the basic game rules. It's just giving you, basically just tells you what the numbers on the units mean, how the maps work, how you fit the maps together, and just your basic rundown. Here's your basic game rules. You know, reading the die, how to read the die. Gives a little brief description of a few terrain effects, line of sight, how to shoot. And it's just a four-page pamphlet for the basic rules. It can get you right in the game. Then you have the Firepower Battle Manual, which is the book of advanced game rules. Now this is where the meat is. This book comes in at 48 pages, although about half of the, well, this is pretty neat. This is what I just used to read this or study it, whatever you want to say. It lists in here squad groups and national equipment. And it gives you a listing of all these different squads from different countries, from different time periods, and it tells you exactly that starts on page 15. So the advanced game rules are really only 15 pages. From page 15 to page 48 are these squad groups. Here's a Mujahideen Guerrilla Squad 79 on. It tells you what units are compose that squad. Look at this. Rhodesian Security Forces. This Rhodesia. I'd like to... How many war games, if any, on Rhodesia? There should be. And then it's just page after page after page. And it breaks. Here's Britain, United Kingdom, blah, blah, blah. It tells you all British weapons. Bulgaria. This is a listing of all the weapons that they can have. It's just page after page. Oh, I'm sorry. That's only to page 25. Then there are some optional rules. Optional rules begin on page 26. There's movement options. It just includes jump. I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't use that unless it was I don't know how important that would be. There's some combat options. Grenade return throws. I don't know if I would use that or not either. Confined spaces, I guess, tunnel rats and such. Some multiplayer rules. These optional rules are just that. They're optional. Here's an umpired game. This is stuff that I would probably never use anyway. What is this? Oh, this is for elevations and depressions for your vehicles. The turn vehicle. I don't know if there's a turret counter that you can turn the turret different than you can turn the vehicle itself. I don't know if that's an optional rule or not, but if it is, I would probably use that rule. There's a lot of optional rules, whether the hatches are open on top or not. And yeah, I probably wouldn't use any of these. That's too much, just too much. Here's some individual personal characteristics. It's got a role-playing aspect to it because the units in the game are just individual men or individual vehicles, but you have to have a list of men that are in the vehicles. This game has a role-playing aspect to it, where you can have ability scores and gain experience. Here's an example of it here. Your abilities and skills, and you can advance them and so forth. Probably would never use that. Here it's going over morale. Oh, these are scenarios here at the end of the book from page 41 on. These are different scenarios. Tells you how to align the maps, what the squads are composed of, who's fighting who, what the victory conditions are. And that's basically it. So really, if you don't include the optional rules, which I probably wouldn't, the advanced rules are only 15 pages. And these 15 pages of advanced rules adds enough to where this is enough. You don't really need to add the optional rules. Although, like I said, that turret movement, if that's part of the optional, I know it's not part of the basic because there's no vehicles in the basic game rules. But I don't know. It might be in the optional rules. The vehicles might even be an entire optional rule unto themselves. But I do remember playing with, you could turn the turret of the vehicles. Anyway, it also comes with a bunch of player aids. These are on cardstock. Bright colors. It's got all kinds of charts. This game is very, very chart heavy. There's lots of tables, lots of charts, lots of diagrams, area of effect weapons and so forth. This game's got so many charts. Here's the submachine gun, pistol, defensive unit weapon characteristics. All these numbers are for range. All these numbers come into play depending on your posture, your range, all kinds of stuff. And they are double-sided. Here's a vehicle weapons chart. Here we have rifle, machine gun, grenade launcher weapon charts. Type's very small. And my eyes are very old. And I don't even have my glasses on. And I can't hardly see them numbers. Here's some more weapons. These look like, these are mortars, tanks. These are your heavy vehicle weapons here. And here's your vehicle charts. Here we have an interior map. These are maps. It's only single-sided on cardstock. Single maps of building interiors. You would play on these off map if you're playing with different levels and stuff of buildings. Here's the character sheet. This is if you would want to play the role-playing aspect. You would fill this out. Holding box card. Off-board card, turn record. You're supposed to cut these out. There's some terrain effects. Basic game movements. There's your basic game chart, standard terrain identifications and such. Now we have the counters, and a couple, they're falling out of the sprue. We have brown and green, rifleman, and on the opposite side, they would have a different type of weapon. But this is the counter sheet that's included. There's smoke counters. These are posture counters up here. There's your turrets. Some grenade, missile counters. There's your turret counters that you can move on the... There's only a couple of vehicles included. They are double-sided. You have entrenchments, foxholes, rubble, fire counters. And up here's your pistol, submachine gun, large machine gun. I think there's a flamethrower in here somewhere. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. Oh, here's your trenches. So that's a look at the counters. And then it comes with some hard-mounted maps. There are a number of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are geomorphic. You can put them together to form a big, a bigger area. This is a more urban map. There's only one map that's like very urban. This is it. This has got buildings in it and a street. Most of the other maps are, it also comes with a D10. I doubt this is the D10 it came with. I would almost guarantee you it isn't. But it comes with a D10. Most of these maps are like country or field or whatever you would like to say. Here's one with a road and a hill. Here's another one. Here's a little bit more of a build-up area, a little village. Like if you wanted to, you could probably like place them like this, maybe, to make a bigger built-up area. Actually, you probably would slip that like that. Something like that might work. And then there's another one. It's got a lot of hills. This is the hilly one, with narrow points to go through without going up the hills. You can put these side by side or up and down, but they all fit together to form a bigger map, however you want to do it. So that's a look at this game from Avalon Hill from mid-'80s. Like I said, I used to have another copy of it that I actually played. There's a lot of newer games that does what this game does better. But for its time, this game was awesome. Nobody had these individual squad type games back in the mid-'80s. Well, not that I really recall. The rules, yeah, they're a little clunky, a little detailed. There's a lot of things that could be done differently or better that are done that way now. But for its time, this game was pretty good. We had a lot of fun playing this. It was interesting. And it was a lot of fun reading what the different squads of the different eras, what type of weapons, what their squad makeups were. It was really interesting just to read. But, hey, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you again.